and welcome back to another Parry This weapon video. That time I remembered it. Today we're taking a look at the second battle ready sword I ever bought, but the first one that I really love. And so that is the Ronin Katana number 9 Euro arming sword. And so this is a $275 sword. And if you're not familiar with the brand Ronin Katana, from the name you might be able to tell, it is predominantly a more Eastern influenced sword company. So you'll find a lot of katanas and whatever. I'm not a weeb, I don't know all those things. I know more about European stuff. And so most people don't think of them for European style arming swords or long swords. But they're actually a very good company for people looking for a budget-friendly, battle-ready sword that's very well made and simple. So they're not, you may be able to tell, there's not a whole lot of ornamentation or anything. It's about as simple as a arming sword can look. Plain black grip, straight cruciform crossguard, rounded pommel. But that being said, their construction is extremely good. They come sharp out of the box. All of the Ronin Katana stuff, or at least all the stuff that I've looked at, is made with 1075 spring steel, which is pretty much the best material you can use for swords. Now, people might argue that, but in my opinion, that is where it's at least for your more rigid cut and thrust type European swords. Like I already said, it has a black leather stitched grip, and so that is stitched and I assume glued underneath because I've used it a decent amount. It's never shifted, and you can tell it's cord wrapped underneath that, so it gives you a pretty good grip on it. You get decent purchase on here. Like I said, it is sharp right out of the box, and it cuts relatively well. I mean, you know, what does that prove? But it is sharp. It's drawn blood, let's put it that way. It also comes with a faux leather wrapped wood core scabbard, which is nice. It comes with a hanging belt, but the hanging belt it comes with, maybe I'm the wrong body shape. I'll let you guys be the judge of that, but it never fit right on me. It never seemed to hang right, so I just have a sword frog, a universal sword frog for this belt that I have that I like to use. But the scabbard it comes with is quite nice. So the blade length for this weapon is 29.53 inches. The handle length is 4.72 inches. The blade width is 1.65 inches, and the blade thickness is 0.028 inches. So, just the geometry and overall feel of this weapon is fantastic. I, of course, have not handled anything ridiculously high-end, but I have held an Albion or two in my time, and the thing about the Ronin Katana is it may not be as fancy and it may not be quite as good, but for the budget, it is an extraordinarily great value. Let me just put it that way. And so these are full tang, peened construction, and they're very tight. There's no rattle at all. I mean, I've never clubbed it against a tree or anything, but for what I have done with it, it's never loosened up even an iota. So this particular model is based on the Oakshot Type 12 knightly arming sword style from the 13th and 14th centuries in Europe. Like we've already said, it has a standard cruciform style crossguard and a wheel pommel. So very common design for this sword. So if you're looking for something that is, I don't know if you want to say your everyman's sword, but something that will fit in with pretty much anything, of course, from, like I said, the 13th and 14th centuries, this is a great showing for it. And all of Ronin Katana's weapons are hand-forged and specially heat-treated to make sure that they are actually very strong and flexible enough to not shatter. And they're also hand-sharpened, so like I said, they come sharp out of the box. So with all that being said, quality-wise, I give Ronin Katana top marks for their Euro swords. Like I said, I've never tested any of their katanas or anything, but all of their European swords that I've gotten my hands on have been fantastic quality for the price point. I'll have links in the description for these if you're interested and you want to check them out. With that being said, let's cut some stuff. So we're going to start off with the stereotypical tatami mat. And I guess it would be more stereotypical if we were using a katana, but it is what it is. Keep in mind, I tried getting this wet and soaking it. Didn't have a great container to do it full immersion, so we had to do it a little tipsy, and that was a little while ago, so she's getting a little dry. So we'll see how good we can cut with this. Not to mention, I'm still not even what I would call overly proficient with the arming sword. So we have partial cut there. I'll try a second one on that. See if I can land in the same cut. I don't know if it's the dryness we're dealing with or just how loosely this roll is wrapped, but I'll give her another try a little bit lower down. The stand is quite annoyingly not staying where I want it to, but we got a clean cut there. Maybe if I try it two-handed with this arming sword. So clearly we're dealing with dry mats, but you can see our cuts as they go through are not ripping and tearing. They're cutting decently smooth. Same thing goes for this one where it went all the way through. That's not bad. There's not a whole lot of ripping involved on that. These cuts that we have in here, unfortunately we're struggling with a couple problems. I wanted to anchor this down, but I didn't have my stakes for it, so I couldn't, and we are dealing with very dry mats. But you can see, even with dry mats, we're getting very decent penetration in there. So let's move on to something that is a little bit more fun to chop, and, more importantly, a lot easier. All right, here, since obviously a milk jug's a little easy to cut, especially when full of water, we're gonna go for little nicks. I try to see how delicate of a cut we can make. Starting at the top, but hopefully I don't cut the string. Not bad. We have our second cut. We'll do a little off the side. Now we gotta even it out. And a final finishing stroke. Since my tatami mats have angered me as much as they have, we're gonna disrespect our stand by using it to cut the lowly water bottle. This is also a very low target, so we'll see if I can give it the old Rob Lowe approach. I know what I'll do. This is the approximate height of a peasant's neck on horseback. Right? Not too bad. So we'll give it the old college try. That peasant didn't make it. And now our stereotypical green wood, because nothing tests a sword's abilities like cutting a tree. So, we've got cherry. I think this is cherry. We'll give it a good... dirty blade from our cherry residue, but no notching, no pitting. I wouldn't have expected anything from something that soft. But that's all for today. So I've had this sword for probably 3 years now, so this isn't exactly a first impressions or unboxing or anything like that. I'm just someone who likes to procrastinate when it comes to things like this. So I've had this for quite some time, but I think, like I've said before, it's just a tremendously good value for what it is. It is a well above average arming sword if you're looking for something battle ready and ready to use out of the box. And I've never had a bad experience with Ronin Katana. So like I said, links will be in the description if you're interested in looking at these. But that's all for today. Thanks a ton for watching, and we'll see you next time.